comment, share, let your thoughts fly.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. Tivis, I'm ready to go back to bed. How are you doing today, dude?
Dude, I got 8 ounces of circus peanuts. I'm good.
Oh, crap. This is going to be an interesting one because I slept for nothing last night.
And I woke up several times, but I feel awake.
I just want to go back to sleep. All right, guys.
Sleep when you're dead.
Before we get into the dirty business, you got anything to share or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I'm really thinking. I got nothing. Nothing new.
I think I had something that I thought of from last week's episode, but now it's gone out of my mind. Yeah.
Tax season sucks. Oh, happy spring. We're in spring now.
Yeah. Spring. Nope. Okay. Let's spring forward into this show, okay? And let's dive on into this dirty business, guys. You can find the Munster Cast on Facebook and Instagram, of all via the Munster Cast. We are also on any other platform. It's going to be via the Munster Cast or through our socials, our personal socials as well. You can, but just Google search the Munster Cast. We actually start popping up in the Google search, which is nice. Cool.
Yeah, we're finally appearing
on the first page.
Google is supposedly making the results worse on purpose for advertisers. So what does that say about us?
All right. You can also check our pretty ugly faces out every Munster Monday via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That's youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. In there you get to see all of our content, our video content in one place. You can also go over to TheMunsterCast.com website, TheMunsterCast.com, and check out all of our content in one place. That is all the social media posts, the randomness, blogs, vlogs, video, everything, audio version, all that stuff gets uploaded directly to TheMunsterCast.com, guys. You can also click the microphone icon on the right hand side of the screen and leave us a little voice message, which we can play on the following episode after we receive the message of this. And then you can also send us messages, of course, through other social medias as well, guys. You can also click the store tab or go over to themunstercast.com/merch and get yourself some awesome new merch stuff. We have a new shirt that just dropped onto the store. I'm putting it on the screen right now, so definitely check that one out, guys. And it's, again, themunstercast.com/merch takes you directly to our store, no matter if our store changes vendors or not. So always use that link.
And I just want to compliment the shirt. I purposely ignored you in the text because you were annoying me.
I don't remember what else I was saying in the text.
I don't know. I was at work and you sent me like 20 things.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So therefore, I think that's it for me, right?
Email.
Oh, yeah. You can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. Guys, you can email us any of your questions, concerns, comments about the podcast. Again, voice messages there as well if you want, or just tell us your stories. We can read them aloud on the podcast.
Send us pictures of your collection. We haven't had those in a while, and those are always cool to see.
Yeah. And again, all these things can be sent to us through either email or social media, whichever you're more comfortable using, guys. So definitely take advantage of that. All right, Tivis.
We have a Patreon. If you would like to give it to it, we would appreciate it. Help keep the lights on the show. Podcasting's not cheap or free. Free for you guys if you want to, but you got $1 you wouldn't miss if it falls out of your pocket. Send it our way. We would appreciate it. Times are tough. Can't do that. Don't worry. What helps the show even more is leaving us a review on your podcatcher of choice, rating us, downloading the podcast episode. If you're on YouTube, hitting that thumbs up, leaving a comment, all this stuff boosts us in people's ears and eyes, and helps us a ton. Also, word of mouth. Word of mouth helps so much more than people think it does about everything.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
All right. So what are we talking about today, dude?
We're talking about Mind Reader, episode 3. Wait, you gotta do the Charles Xavier. Season 3, episode 9, or 127th if you slam them together. I think I did the math. I don't remember if I changed that. I should probably check that. December 1st, 1990 is when this one aired. So we are ending the end of the beginning of the 90s.
The end of the 90s. What are you
No, it's not
what?
the end of the 90s. We got a whole another 8 years. 9 years.
Of 90. There you go.
Yes, there you go. Mark Miller, not the comic guy, is back writing this one. It is last time we saw him was It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want To. This is his half episode. He'll be back for 2 more. Then we got Russ Petranto. I hesitate every time I say his name.
Yeah.
Coming back to direct. This is also his halfway point, his 9th of 18 episodes. We have 2 guests listed, even though there was a whole classroom full of students again.
Yeah, they never do the whole student thing, and which is weird
No.
too, because this time I think more than one student talked too.
Yeah, definitely.
They all end up having some kind of talk.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got Lana Schwab as Mrs. Thomas. I'm sorry, Mrs. Thomas. She has 28 projects to her name and 1 for still photography.
nice.
Now, again, she's got all of that stuff. I only grabbed a handful of things that I knew or sounded interesting. If you want to see the full list, go to IMDb or the Wikipedia or wherever has your preference for viewing this stuff. Obviously, no, they're all valuable, but the next guest has a ton, so I tried to keep this one a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So first thing was an episode of Simon and Simon in 80. I'm sorry. First thing was Twilight Zone, the movie, in Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. It's the short that she appeared in 83. Then she did an episode of Simon and Simon in 84. I wrote them in the reverse order. Why? Don't know. She was on an episode of Murder, She Wrote and an episode of Night Court in 85. 2 episodes as Fern in Married with Children in 87 and 89. An episode of Quantum Leap in 91. 14 episodes as Dolly in Santa Barbara in 92. The Bridges of Madison County in 95. Her still photographer credit comes from Feeling, Minnesota in 96. And the last thing she has listed is Factotum in 2005.
Okay.
So, and again, there's so much more beyond that. You recognize her, probably have seen her in something else. The next one we have Dustin Diamond as Rob. I had no idea this was Dustin at the time I was watching this, and I referred to his character as the Screech, not a ripoff.
How could you not tell that was him?
I'm not a big Saved by the Bell watcher, dude.
Okay.
So let's get started with him. 52 acting projects, 3 director, 3 producer, 2 writer, 1 editor, and 1 cinematographer credit. First thing is The Price of Life in 87. He was also the voice of the chubby kid in Yogi's Great Escape in 87. Yes, they're credited as the chubby kid. Big Top Pee-wee in 88. The Purple People Eater also in 88. Have to mention that movie. Love that movie. 13 episodes. Oh, really, really good song. It's on my Halloween music playlist every year. Drives my wife nuts. 13 episodes of Good Morning Miss Bliss as Screech from 88 to 89. Now, many people don't know that this was actually renamed to Saved by the Bell Season 1. Then we go to 86 episodes of actual Saved by the Bell from 89 to 92. Then we have the TV movie Saved by the Bell Hawaii Style in 92. He did 2 episodes of The Wonder Years in 89 and 90. 1 episode of, or as a greeter in The Next Generation, Season 5, Episode 20, Cost of Living in 92. 13 episodes of Saved by the Bell College Years from 93 to 94. And then the conclusion TV movie Saved by the Bell Wedding in Las Vegas in 94. Until he came back for 130 episodes of Saved by the Bell, The New Class from 94 to 2000. It is no wonder he hates this character.
I mean, he hated the character. He did die.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. I totally forgot about that too. Yeah. He was in Attack of Killer Bee movies in 95, which I threw in there for Myke because it sounds like something he would want to watch if he hasn't already.
No, I don't think so.
All right. He produced, directed, and wrote Dustin Diamond Teaches Chess in 2001. He was in Big Fat Liar in 2002. Pauly Shore is Dead, 2003. He was voiced an episode of Duck Dodgers in 2005. He produced, directed, and was the cinematographer for Screeched in 2006. American Pie Presents The Book of Love in 2009. He directed and... Oh, go ahead.
I watched that movie a lot. I don't remember him in there, so...
I think he's did the background. Kind of like Big Fat Liar. He's just in the guest, the people sitting at the end.
Yeah, he's an alumnus guy. Yeah, because I do remember him in Dickie Roberts' former child star, because they did like a porn thing, a poker game of all the
Boy,
old
that changes that movie. yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he directed and wrote The Last Explorer in 2009. Produced the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story in 2014, which caused a ton of controversy, and eventually apologized for, I believe, allegedly making some things up.
Did he actually apologize?
Yes, I was just reading an article about that before we started.
Okay.
At least he said he regrets saying the things he did.
Right.
So, he was the editor on Lesser Wishes in 2013. He did A Dog for Christmas in 2015. I threw that in there also for Myke because him and his wife love terrible Christmas movies. And finally, in 2020, Catching Up, which is a short.
Wait, that's not the last thing, is it?
It's the last acting credit.
Why won't my thing go back? There we go. I was trying to see what the heck Joker's Poltergeist was about, and it doesn't sound as cool as the picture looks.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put it in here. Because I saw that, I'm like, oh, that looks like a Myke movie. I'm like, oh, no, this looks like another one of those Thanksgiving movies we watched.
It's an assailant disguised in a clown mask guns down the Aurora's place while the theater owner fights to reopen her business. I don't know.
Any listeners interested in hearing about those horrible Thanksgiving movies that Myke made me watch, go check out our older show, Operation Babel.
Yeah.
That last one, dude, was so bad. Just the writing alone made me
maybe
angry.
this year's Thanksgiving I'll upload them to this.
Oh no.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, I think it's time.
It's time. It's time. It's synopsis time. All right, guys. We are talking about Mind Reader, which aired December 1st, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Eddie's in the minds of everyone around him as Grandpa leaves potions lying around. Will there be time for Eddie to read the minds of his peers? Will all their secrets be out for the world to know? Or will they put a screeching halt to Eddie's mind-bending abilities? Will Eddie be saved by the bell, or will tar and feathers be his demise? Will Grandpa have a nice donut snack, or will he turn Eddie into a poodle and feed him the spot? Will Lily give in to her son's petulant ways and supply him with every last dollar from her bra? Or will love, steam, and passions corrupt Lily to feed into Eddie's pampered ways? Will Marilyn revert to one-liners in the script, or will she take her succubus ways to the no pajama slumber party? Will Herman lose his paycheck in the most sitcom-y way possible? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today.
Very good. Very good.
I'm tired.
You put a lot of energy into that. Probably all the energy you had left.
That's it. All right.
You're ready. You're ready to jump into this?
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
So we open with an exterior shot of the house. By the way, there is an exterior shot later on that we don't see that often that I'm so happy they put in. I'll shout it out when we get to it.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice one about this exterior shot is because it's at nighttime for this house right now, but they have like the wind blowing and you see like all the little pieces of like, I don't even know what the heck it's supposed to be. One, if your streets are that dirty, California, you need to clean up. Because there was a lot of stuff blowing there.
Well, they got a lot of cleanup to do right now anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that right now.
I mean, that's just an irrefutable fact. That's not being mean.
But yeah, they had a bunch of stuff. But I brought that up because I thought it was a really cool thing because we know for this show that it's a model for the outside of the house. That it's not an actual like set piece or anything, which is I'm curious like what they utilize to get that effect and everything because it looks legit, you know. So yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So,
Eddie. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. But then we open to Grandpa's lab.
And Eddie comes rushing down, looking for him, but he's nowhere to be seen. He doesn't check the coffin for some reason. He asks Leonard where he is, comments on how hot it is, and then if Grandpa would be okay with him drinking a potion. Leonard answers with a shrug, a nod, and then a shake. Which is the most I think I've seen the skeleton do in a long time.
Oh, he gets a lot of movement in this episode. A lot of movement, which is cool. I wrote that down.
But Eddie does it anyway and says, ooh, his favorite, slasher soda. What flavor do you think that would be?
Blood.
I'm thinking fruit punch.
Blood.
Grandpa
blood.
Everything's fruit punch, especially if it's good.
It's all blood.
So Grandpa comes down and he's singing. Eddie compliments him and Grandpa says, well, I was known as Bloody Holly in Transylvania, which is a good joke. Buddy Holly, for those who don't know. Eddie was looking for help on his homework. And he gets the answer before Grandpa has a chance to say anything. Grandpa then threatens to let Spot bury Leonard if he helps Eddie cheat again. Eddie's like, no, he didn't. But he doesn't want to keep Grandpa from his Life Begins at 400 support group. Grandpa is furious that Eddie knows about this. Eddie then says, oh, you attempted to pick up twin meter maids today. And Grandpa's like, you were in school? What is going on? You drank my stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. Were you drinking my experiments? Experiments? I thought they were sodas.
It's a lab. Like,
Eddie, did it taste like sugar? Did it taste like caffeine? Like what?
I'm about to take us on a tangent because I heard a interesting little debate just yesterday morning.
Okay.
So, flat pop.
Mm-hmm.
Can you qualify it as juice?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not juice. It's still pop. Or soda for people that aren't in the Midwest.
But it's flat. It's not carbonated anymore.
That just means it's a bad pop.
I'm waiting for you to say sugar water, which is exactly what juice is.
I'm not gonna feed into your stupid ways and give you the things that you want, Tivis. Like, no, it's not juice. Juice is usually made with fruit.
Okay, but what if it's a cherry pop?
That's artificial flavoring.
And you think the juice is?
The juice I get's not artificial. I don't know about what everyone else gets, but come on, man.
All right.
Be cognitive of what you're putting into your body.
Let me just grab another circus peanut.
Styrofoam and circus
Delicious
peanuts are good.
styrofoam.
Circus peanuts are the peanuts. I told you, I'm tired. Circus peanuts are the most delicious form of styrofoam out there.
Oh yeah, unless you're Mosier, then do you think you're brain damaged?
The devil.
So
How dare you eat those?
so
Have you ever
Grandpa-
roasted them?
No.
Try roasting one of these times. If like when you have a fire or something going, or you're at the grill.
Yeah, it's gonna be a perfect temperature for a fire this weekend up here. So
Yeah.
so Grandpa goes into how stupid you have to be to drink something from a laboratory instead of the fridge.
And I agree.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff in here that could be construed as mean towards Eddie, but everything that people are saying to him is like,
Common sense.
yes.
Hey, it's like I tell my wife, the truth may hurt, but it's still the truth.
They try to make things seem like they're bad or what, the Eddie's. Yeah, no. Don't drink things on a lab table. Period.
If it doesn't have a label, don't put it in your mouth. You're not a cat or a dog or any other animal that just if it fits, it eats.
Even if it has a label, it's still in a lab. You don't know what's in it.
Oh, that's true. I did hear a story about how someone's mom replaced eye drops with um some kind of drink. I forget what it was.
I thought it was super glue, wasn't it?
It was super glue. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? At least
It's like
tear
those.
the.
It's like those dumb people that used Gorilla Glue because they thought it was freaking hair gel. Like,
Oh, that poor lady.
You got to be a special kind of, yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, look, it's 619. Rey Mysterio. Anyways,
so yeah, it turns out that this was a mind reading potion. And we were wrong in thinking that Herman was going to fall for some kind of scam.
Yeah.
Eddie believes him and his high fives. Eddie doesn't believe Grandpa and then high fives Leonard on his way out. Leonard starts cracking up over the situation and Grandpa tells him to stuff it. You ain't got a mind.
Yeah. He keeps cracking up hard on this one.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
He's like, that teenager just got the ability to read everyone's mind. You're screwed.
Then we go upstairs and Herman is cracking up. Okay, mind you, Marilyn is sitting on the back of the couch trying so hard to look like she's like in a magazine shoot. And this is annoying me because no one does this. People don't do this. Look, I understand people aren't like Frankenstein monsters or vampires too, but no, I believe that more than how she's sitting on the back of this couch.
I find her reading the newspaper at all unbelievable.
Just the way she's holding it.
Just holding it in general. What teenager reads the newspaper ever?
I mean, I read the paper when I was a kid.
The comics or the paper?
Both.
You're an anomaly.
Check the stock market, all that other stuff too, and just to see. I'm just
I'll
Yeah.
take your word for it, but I'm suspect.
And there are kids that would read the
Ugh.
sports pages. I never read the sports pages, but yeah.
Nah, it was Zitz,
Um,
Marmaduke, and trash.
So then Garfield. Um,
Garfield wasn't as good.
Herman was cracking up, and Marilyn looks over and says, "So, what are you left for? The comics?" He's like, "No, sports injuries."
Which I'm like, dude, what? Do you have a bet going on with a rival team or something? Eddie
Also, which
comes.
sports team? Which season are we in right now? I don't know.
Yeah, we're all over the place. We know he's in school, so it has to be from August to June. Eddie comes up and asks Lily what is love's steaming passions, and Lily's like, what?
How do you know about that? Well, I know you take it out from underneath your pillow once Pop falls asleep. And Herman is in shock.
Marilyn wants to borrow it. Eddie,
Oh my gosh.
Eddie's like, oh, Marilyn, when did you get the time to start managing the rock band Parents' Nightmare? I hope you're okay with UK. Parents' Nightmare.
Yeah.
I really hope that's spelled with a K, because that sounds a lot more rock.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it just does. So she thinks that he's been spying on her, and he's like, no, I really haven't this time.
You've been reading my diary. No.
No. But why are you quitting school to go to the European tour with him? And Herman's like, say what now? Herman just wants them to
Herman. Eddie runs
bickering
over the Herman, and he's like, "Well, Pop, you believe me?" And she's like, "Why would he ever believe you?" And he's like, "Well, he's hoping we stop fighting so we can sit down and watch motorcycle babes from Pluto on TV."
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm worried what would pop up on my screen. While snacking on barbecue weasel lips, then he'll go to bed so he can work early. And this is how Eddie's talking, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So he can please his boss, Mr. Gateman, who he thinks is a penny pinching, slave driving, and then Herman pipes up, jerk face. That's amazing. How did you know? Tivis, did you just Google search motorcycle babes from Pluto?
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't?
No.
I bet I can find something.
I mean, there's motorcycles and babes, but that is way too recent to be a reference. But yeah, so they're all like, you're reading our minds. And he's like, maybe Grandpa was right. But also, you don't have to read Herman's mind to know that about Mr. Gateman. So
yeah.
Honestly, you could probably just say that on any given day and that'll shock him. Like, oh, you think so too?
All right, now we go to the high school.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, does it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
I'm sure someone has an Instagram account with it.
It probably would have came up.
Sounds like something that they could have done for like Adult Swim for a cartoon.
Yeah.
Motorcycle babes from Pluto. Yeah.
Or even in that old home movies show.
And then it would be like a bunch of like babes that are like fight like Charlie's Angels, but they're from Pluto. So they're like pink.
Are you drinking chocolate milk or a protein shake?
Neither. I'm drinking a lot of creamer with a little bit of coffee.
Oh, coffee. Ew. Yeah, so now we're at school. The kids are given a report on a famous person whose first and last name begins with H. What?
I mean, it's kind of funny.
That sounds like such a pain in the ass, even for the teacher. What? Eddie has Harry Houdini.
So do you have it? I don't have it. You don't have it, or you didn't do it, Eddie. Which is it?
I literally have written here some kind of screech-looking nerd behind Eddie yells that he's ready to give his report on Howard Hughes, Hubert Humphrey, and Horatio Hornblower, which is a fictional British military man.
Yeah.
So it's not really a historic report if they're fictional.
I saw him. I saw Screech. Sorry. I saw what do they call this kid in this one? Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call him Rob. I saw Rob and was like, "Is that Screech?"
Yep. I seriously thought they were trying to knock off Saved by the Bell. I didn't know they actually poached from Saved by the Bell.
Because Saved by the Bell had been out for 2 years by now?
Yes, it started in '89 as that other show, Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Eddie. Yeah, Eddie didn't do it. He's having trouble at home and some issues, and you wouldn't understand. Rob decides to once again shout the teacher's name, stand up, make fun of Eddie for not being a nerd.
Mm-hmm. This kid really wants the attention of the teacher.
Yeah, I don't appreciate their portrayal of a nerd in this one because one, this kid is not a nerd, as we learn later on. He's just a suck up.
Yeah. And two,
so why make him a nerd? Stereotype?
Because they could get the actor.
Then you should have made him an actual nerd.
Come on, you're never going to see him again. Just like the last kid and the other kid. Every kid that like is a standout on the show, you never see him again.
No, I think Eddie kills him. She says, if you don't have
food for Spot,
if you don't have a great excuse, you're gonna fail. He's like, all right, fine. I can read minds now. And the class like laughs at him. And the teacher's like, no, there's no such thing. Rob shouts again and tells her he agrees and will stay after school to wash her car. So wait. Yeah. I again, this nerd. Is he a nerd, or are they saying being a nerd is not enough to get ahead? You also have to suck up? Because
I mean, you can be a nerd and not be a smart nerd.
Okay, that's fair. I am one of those. But I like to think I'm smart, but I've never sucked up to anyone. I've even told a few managers to F off to their faces while on my shift.
Okay, let's not say that while you're looking for more work.
I am not currently looking. It keeps finding me.
And
also one of them laughed at it, so it was
just,
when I worked for the Mudhens. That dude is great.
I just think that anybody can be a suck up, and it just so happens that it's the kid that looks like a geek. I don't even think he's a nerd because like traditional, like as a nerd from back in like the 80s and 90s, we would look as the nerds as we're the smart guys that you copy off of, and they did all the homework, and they're the ones that became your boss now. Like,
yeah,
all the I think he's more of just like a geek, but not like a comic book geek or a movie geek or any, like he's just geek.
Yeah. I also wonder if he's got some autism.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because he's looking for the attention. He's definitely not nonverbal, but he's definitely on some kind of thing there.
Spectrum.
But I think it's more so he's just looking for the attention, because as the episode progresses, we see more things come about where he just keeps putting himself in to the situation.
Also, the way he talks, though, like I know the writers are writing this as a joke, but I've definitely met some people like this.
Yeah,
and they do have some chemistry is off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, that's just if this was written today, I feel like they would take a whole different spin on this character.
Just don't sleep with your cousin or sister, and you won't have.
Yeah, don't be from Alabama. Sorry,
That's
anyone in
wrong.
Alabama.
That's wrong. I know people have autistic kids that don't do that. So let's just.
Oh, I thought we were just making fun of that kind of relationship. No, I wasn't saying that. All right, where were we?
But yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He I don't think that he's like a nerd, as in like a genius kind of nerd.
I continued to write in my notes about myself. After I said that I've told manager staff off, I also don't have much of an upward career, but I'll take respect over upgrades. Money would be nice, though. I wrote this at like 4 a.m.
That's hilarious. So then this is the teacher tells Eddie, all right, prove it. Prove that you can read minds. And he's like, are you sure you want me to do that? Okay, here it goes.
Yeah.
And then he goes into her thing. I only wrote like a little bit of the line down.
So we find out that her husband named named Wendell.
Wendell?
And they are into some freaky role play. She dresses as like a taco.
A chicken taco.
A chicken taco.
That's the part I wrote down. She dressed up as a chicken taco to spark up the spruce up the marriage. There we go.
Spice it up.
Spice it up. Spruce it up. Whatever. It's all the same thing.
Rob compliments her expressive way to celebrate our neighbors to the south. Myke, do you have any chicken role play?
No.
Since your in-laws are from the south.
No.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard from an adult joke in one of these.
Yeah, no.
I wish I wrote it all down now, but
I'm trying very hard to not say things. Let's just move on to this. But no, we don't have like a taco role play. There's a taco involved, but no.
There you go. I knew it was coming. Just the whole like it seems like mascot finish.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
You got some people out there who are afraid of people in costume, and other people turned on.
It's the whole like furry thing. That's all it is. Just this one is probably not furry because it's a chicken taco.
You're gonna get the furries mad at us. That is not a sex thing according to them.
Yeah, but a lot of people use it as a sex thing. I'm not saying that furries themselves all do, but a lot of people use it.
All right, yeah. Just remember, if you send an email to TheMunsterCast@outlook.com, send it addressed to Myke.
Fight me. I don't care.
After class, the students now circle Eddie, and Rob is the first one to ask him to read his mind. Turns out he's very aware on his insufferable personality and is worried it will one day lead to the class putting the boots to him, medium style. If you watch Metalocalypse, that makes sense. A girl asks him to find out if a dude likes her. Rob asks another question about how to impress a Harvard recruiter, and Eddie regrets to inform him that there is nothing he can do to impress anyone ever. So Eddie begins worrying about the ethics of using the gift for everyone. They then begin paying him, and the look on his face.
They don't just pay him. They start throwing money at him like it's a stripper, dude. Like,
yeah,
he's just like,
the look on his face makes me think that he knows this is worse morally, but then right before the transition, he smiles, and I am wrong.
Yeah.
It's like every single time I think Eddie has a little bit of character growth. Nope. He Bart Simpsons himself. So back at home. Are you laughing at me or what you wrote?
No, the Bart Simpson thing, yeah. But I mean, I was thinking more Cartman.
Cartman doesn't have any kind of growth at all. Bart at least grows in an episode and then regresses the next.
Yeah.
Cartman's just a piece of, work always.
So, yeah. So we get back to the house and they're talking about trying to get rid of Eddie's it's Herman, Marilyn, and Grandpa. And they're trying to talk about how to get rid of Eddie's mind reading abilities. Grandpa has a solution, but the risk is he could turn him into a baboon.
No, his mind into a baboon. So he'd still be Eddie, but thinks he's a monkey.
But Grandpa says, well, at least we know he's always get a job at the DMV.
Marilyn also sounds very sarcastic when she's like, no, we can't risk that.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, just do it. I'd rather that than this.
Do it, old man. Do it.
Yeah. They hear Eddie coming and like scatter.
Yeah. And Herman puts a paper up to his head thinking that's going to stop him from getting his mind read. Like it's a barrier.
Herman comes up with a great solution later on.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, not maybe. It definitely works. So maybe. Yeah, he comes down and we find out how Herman lost his paycheck.
Yeah, you're thinking about that horse you lost your whole paycheck on, and Herman freaks out. Like, hey, how would I know that she was pregnant with quintuplets?
What did they give birth on the racetrack?
And then at this second, the sound dropped for me for about 2 seconds. I don't know if it did drop for you.
I don't recall that. No.
It just seemed like they weren't saying anything, so I don't know if it was just very quiet and they were like trying to say it was them thinking, but it was like super quiet for a good like second or two here.
No, I can't say I had that issue. But yeah, Herman's like, hey, if you don't tell your mother, I'll take you water skiing in the swamp. And Eddie's like, no, you don't have to. I'm not going to. But Herman is like, no, I insist.
Is Eddie always wear lipstick, or is it just more prominent in this episode?
That is a good question.
I didn't notice it until this episode, really.
Yeah.
I guess he has to because it makes the skin look more pale, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Eddie then narks on Marilyn, who is got the most problematic thing yet.
Wow, Marilyn, that's cool. You're going to a slumber party? Yeah, what's wrong with a slumber party? I've gone to many of them. Oh, yeah, this one's a co-ed ski weekend, though, with free beer and no PJs allowed. Pajamas allowed? I wrote PJs. It was pajamas. She freaks out.
Yeah, I'm glad you wrote all that down because I just put sex ski party. Because that's what it is.
Dude, this is a perfect weekend for a succubus. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, that she's like, you could come with me. Yeah, I'm like, okay, wait, you mean be there with a family member to a no PJ party?
It says no PJs. It doesn't say butt naked, Tivis. Like,
what do you think they're doing while they sleep?
Tivis. No. I don't even wear PJs. I still wear clothes to bed.
No comment.
Semantics. No pajama party. Just means you can't wear your pajamas. You can wear anything else you want or don't want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the intent behind that is pretty clear. Yeah, that sounds even worse to me regardless. So Eddie declines.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
she bribes him. She bribes him with hooking them up with another girl.
Oh, but he declines to join her.
Oh, yeah.
So he then
sneaks up behind Grandpa.
Yeah, he turns his attention to Grandpa. He's really trying to keep Eddie out by reading the sports page, but it's not working.
Yeah.
Say, I know what you got down in your coffin, old man.
Vera from the donut shop. Is she dead or is she a date?
That's what I was wondering.
Is she a meal for later?
Because
Is
it seriously sounds like Grandpa's back to his serial killing ways later on.
I don't know what she is. I
don't
think she's a
either.
meal because later on in the episode, we hear that he's eating dessert in his coffin.
Yeah, and I don't know
And
if
donuts,
it's one
dessert.
way or the other. It's so ambiguous, and it makes him really terrifying in this episode. But Grandpa's like, hey, I'll do your math homework if you don't tell anyone. And he's like, that one, yes.
Why? And it's not like he's saying any of these things very quietly anyways.
Oh, everyone can hear
So-
all of these conversations.
I have an issue with this once we move forward.
Even when Marilyn pulls him out of the way of the couch, they're like still right there.
Right next to Grandpa, yeah. And not only that, like vampires, super hearing, all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Herman then compliments Eddie, sorry about the yawn, on having such restraint with this power. Too many people would use it for personal gain and blackmail. Eddie likes this idea.
Eddie gets a big smile. And then we flash forward exterior of the house and then back in as everyone is pampering Eddie.
Marilyn's giving him a massage. Herman is fanning him. Grandpa's bringing him grapes. I wrote that instead of grapes. And Lily is just standing there disapproving at first.
Yeah. Oh no, his grapes aren't chilled. What the heck, bro? And Grandpa says, where I'm gonna put him, he's not gonna be able to tell.
It's been 2 days. We're sick of this. When are you going to get it fixed, old man?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are they keeping this from Eddie? He can read their mind.
Not only that, they're so worried about getting him back to not being mind reader Eddie. He still knows all these things.
Yeah.
This is my thing. It's like the blackmail would never end because he knows these things.
Also, he's a small child. Lock him in a room. He can't tell anyone.
Also, who's he going to tell? The only person I could see getting in trouble from any of this stuff here
Marilyn
would be Marilyn
and Herman.
And Herman for losing his paycheck in the most sitcom-y way possible.
Yeah.
I was just like, why does that sound like something that would happen on King of Queens?
Yeah. Eddie then tells Marilyn to move where she's massaging to get his left shoulder blade better and put some feeling into it, Blondie. She then moves to choke him. But the look on his face makes him think that he heard this in her thoughts because he's like, oh. It was just a nice little touch that they added in.
Yeah.
Lily starts manicuring his nails and tells him they're making rice-a-roni, the Transylvania treat tonight for dinner. He's like, well, how about my room?
Rice-a-roni or liveroni?
I heard
Liveroni.
rice-a-roni, but you're probably right.
I think it's liveroni, the Transylvania treat. I wrote in my notes live a roti. I was like, it has to be liver.
Yeah, he's like, so what about my room? Cleaned, my clothes, washed, my bank account, transferred all my money into it, all of it. She then pulls some cash from her bra, which, ew, don't do that. That is gross.
Don't give that to your son.
Don't give it to anyone. I respect all of the cashiers out there who hang the signs that say, if you do this, I'm not taking it.
Really? They do that? Like
Yeah.
people, they have signs up that say they won't take money from your bra or something?
Yes. Because
I'd
it's
rather take
gross.
I'd rather take money from the bra than someone's sock, and I've seen people pull money out of their socks and pay.
Here's an idea: get a wallet.
Here's an idea, though. In certain areas, having a wallet, they're just going to take your wallet from you.
Get
If
a
you have your
decoy
money
wallet.
hidden, Tivis, it's a freaking square
Yeah.
in your butt. Like they're going to see
No,
it.
never put it there. Don't. Back pockets are stupid. That's how you get robbed easily.
Because
Yeah.
especially nowadays too, with like credit cards and stuff. Like I could see like just sliding the card. If I had a bra, I'd put my credit card there.
Yeah. Well, as
Yeah,
long as I'm not touching
easy.
it, I don't give a shit.
Right. Like the credit cards is a different story because it's not cash. But also it's like I don't know if they showered. Like I have no issue with bra money. Except
Sweat.
for the fact that you don't know where that money was and you're putting it up against your skin more.
Also, it's an extremely sweaty area of the female body.
Yeah. But also
Yeah.
the worst part is for the person putting it there. Same like you don't know where that's been, what's on that dollar bill. Like this is why you're not supposed to touch cash and then touch your face, people. Like don't you wash your hands after you deal with cash. As anyone who's dealt with cash in like a bank setting, a cashier setting, things like that, you
Oh, yeah.
see or
It's got
feel how dirty the
residue
money
of
is.
fecal matter and cocaine and
Yeah, anything.
that's not exaggeration. They
Yeah.
literally find traces of it on nearly every dollar.
Yeah.
So yeah, Herman asks if that's breezy enough for him, and Eddie tells him that he's on his way to a promotion.
Right.
He then gives Grandpa a paper and tells him to continue where he left off. So Grandpa gives a speech that makes Eddie's ego grow. I didn't write it down because, yeah.
Let's see here. Did I do it? Lily pulls money from her bra for her son. No. And then we're back to school. That's what I wrote.
Yeah. By the end of this scene, the whole family is like, Marilyn's like being rough. Grandpa has murder in his eyes. Lily is just sad. And Herman's like trying to smack him with the leaf he's using.
Yeah. Then we go back to school. And what is it? What did you say his name was?
Rob. He has a
Rob.
hypothesis, which is great.
He says that Dr. Seuss, Dr. Spock, and Dr. Joyce Brothers are all in fact the same man.
Which is
he talking about Dr. Spock, the author, or Dr. Spock from Star Trek?
I believe from Star Trek. But also
But the other two do writing. So
well, I mean, what a terrible joke for Joyce. Like that woman made great strides to bring mental health awareness further to the forefront of society.
well, I mean, like, so for people who don't know who Dr. Spock is, too, it's not Dr. Spock. Like, Spock wasn't a doctor, was he? I don't remember if he was classified as a doctor in Star Trek.
He was a Star Trek expert, but
Dr. Spock is an actual doctor, author of books and stuff like that. A lot of them were all baby care, child care books, stuff like that, back in the day. So I've seen people literally buy Dr. Spock's baby and child care book. I've literally been gifted one because they thought it was a Star Trek book. And it annoys me.
So apparently he got a master's in business administration. I'm
Who's
learning
that?
way too much about a fictional character, Spock, the Star Trek.
Oh, Spock in Star Trek. Yeah.
Yes. I can't find anything that says he has a doctorate though. Just
he's not
master's.
He's not a doctor.
Yeah. So
He's
it's
an
probably
officer.
the
And
psychologist then.
yeah, because they only address the medical officers as doctors in Star Trek. I don't think anybody, even like the high
Psychiatrist.
We have holograms and stuff like that to deal with your psychology.
You're pointing off screen, so I'm like, what? Do you have a psychiatrist in this house right now? Am I offending someone?
Tied up.
Well, that's probably the only way you're gonna get to talk to someone. So,
Damn.
2 seconds in a room, they go running, screaming. I know the feeling. So yeah, that's a weird. Anyway, the class is enthralled by this.
Tell me, Joyce Brothers, who is that? I actually don't know that one.
Yeah, she was a really big proponent for bringing mental health in the 90s, like a decade before it became in the more conscious zeitgeist of normal society. I personally, I credited her for how we are today with, being more aware of the mental damage we inflict on ourselves and others.
Yeah. Oh, actually, if you put in Joyce Brothers and Spock, Dr. Spock, it says they were both prominent figures in the field of psychology and parenting advice. So maybe that's where they were going with this, because Dr. Seuss is, I guess child psychology with his books, maybe is what they're trying to get out of that.
Wasn't he a communist?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, it's just a weird fact that's in my head.
I'm trying to see something.
Oh, I thought you were checking that fact. Well, now I got to know if this is real. Dr. Seuss. No, he's not. That's just a fake theory.
Yeah, don't spread false information, Tivis. We have enough of that on the internet.
I am a brilliant individual. Too late. It's out there. You can't take it back.
Dr. Joyce Brothers, Dr. Spock, and Dr. Seuss. Was Dr. Seuss an actual doctor then? Do you have an actual doctor?
I don't think so. I think it was just a pen name.
Sorry. I'm just looking around, guys. Oh, anyways, let's continue on before we have too much silence in here.
Eddie is just confused how this guy is the smartest in the room. And I am too, honestly. Eddie is not finding out so Eddie is now finding out after effing around with his powers at school that everyone hates him. Rob makes a note that Eddie has surpassed him as the most despised person in Mockingbird Heights High. Eddie defends himself by saying everything he said is true. They all then begin thinking about tar and feathering him as he runs from the room. Which, yes, even if it's true, like I said, the truth can hurt. Doesn't mean you have to say it. You got to pick your battles.
So I did a search thing real quick on those three doctors.
Yes.
To find the similarities. All three of them are influence on parenting and child development. All three of them had the media presence and pop culture impact, which I feel I might have heard of Dr. Joyce Brothers before, but never put two and two together with the name. And then all three also had that they all broke traditional norms within the different fields that they were doing. Like Dr. Spock had challenged rigid authoritarian parenting methods. Dr. Brothers was pioneering for women in psychology and media. Dr. Seuss, of course, broke storytelling conventions by using the different languages and stuff he
One
used,
fish, two fish.
nonsensical words and stuff like that. So yeah, so they all have some type of connection. So I could see them saying that in there, although they were all around about the same time. So
The only advice I can give is don't ever eat any kind of food that's green that isn't meant to be.
which, and maybe Eddie shouldn't be drinking things that aren't meant to be drank.
Yes, we come full circle.
but it says here, in essence, all three figures help shape American culture. Spock through parenting, brothers through psychology and advice, and Dr. Seuss through children's literature, each leaving a lasting legacy.
I'm glad you know about that guy, because I literally thought they were just making a Star Trek reference.
Oh, for Dr. Spock?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Like someone literally bought me the parenting book by Dr. Spock and was like, they thought it was a Star Trek book, and I was like, this isn't Leonard Nimoy, guy. Like, this isn't.
Yeah, that's an amazing coincidence, but I'm glad it paid off.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're back at home. Herman, Lily, and Marilyn are talking about how.
Is this when you had the shot that you wanted to talk about?
No.
Okay.
I haven't noted some whatever.
Okay. Oh yeah, it comes up later. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, much later. Yeah, Herman, Lily, and Marilyn are all talking about how Eddie is now hiding in his room, scared of more repercussions of his own actions. Marilyn says, "Good, he deserves it." Herman has been using Wayne Newton songs on repeat to keep him out, and it's apparently working, as Eddie can't stop hearing Donkey Shane one more time as he comes down the stairs. Donkey Shane? Really? Stop.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of
this is where I wrote in my notes too. Oh, go on. Continue what you were saying, then I'll say it.
It just makes me think of that Scrubs gag where, the main character JD would sometimes fight with the voice in his head, and there was a girl he wanted to ask out, but he didn't have the courage, so his voice is like, "If you don't ask her out, I will be doing this all day. You get knocked out." You can't be.
Nice. It's in this scene here though that I then wrote in my notes, I can't go back to Marilyn just doing one-liners after her full episode last week.
I know.
I just can't, because they don't come off as genuine as when we saw her have the full story. And now when you see it, it's kind of like, and you go back to and think of the past episodes with Marilyn in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like they don't feel as genuine as Marilyn when she had the story herself. So I don't know if maybe it was an acting thing, script thing, or what was going on here, but yeah. Also, why is she going to a no pajama party, co-ed pajama party? No, or a co-ed no pajama party if she just got a boyfriend last episode? Did she eat him already? She must have ate him.
It's true. So yeah, Lily tells him to stop reading their minds and start telling him his. And I got a very Superman-esque type thing here with what he's about to say. With apparently his powers are growing exponentially. He can't find his mind with the voice of the president, Supreme Court, and some dude named Augie who runs a DQ in Hewark.
Yeah. I literally wrote after that, because I wrote down all those things too. I said, how does his power work? He just hears everything all the time, like Superman, when he's not focused in. Like what's going on?
Yeah, it's like any early Superman story when his hearing like really kicks in, they always show it as it's overwhelming, and you even see that in Superman and Lois with his son.
Yeah,
it's they always do it so well, because I mean, think about it. If you had that much noise just constantly in your ear, it would be so overwhelming.
Yeah, it's why it was a cool thing to have them do, like with even if people didn't like it, the Zack Snyder stuff when Zod took off his mask and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
finally
Got
open
the
to the
red, yellow
entire
sun
world.
radiation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had heard everything, and it messed with
Yeah.
him.
It was a nice contrast too, because his military discipline and training helped him kind of regain himself a lot quicker than a child who was raised
Yeah.
in Kansas by, didn't even know he was an alien.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one of the better things from that movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Herman now scolds Eddie for abusing his powers, and Eddie's like, "Yeah, I know, but it's hard to stop when you have the principal at your mercy." I kind of get that, especially if you're a troublemaker kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
He then requests a man-to-man and for the women to leave. This is Herman. He tells him the story about Lewis, his rabbit. He went to work digging graves and came home to find Lewis dead.
Flattened. He's been run over.
Yeah, and he must be shielding his mind from Eddie still, because Eddie's not able to predict what he's going to say. Eddie's like, of old age? No, dump truck.
Yeah, it is interesting that Eddie doesn't know what he's saying. So, like, what did Herman do to block that?
He's singing a song in his head constantly. But yeah, flat as a pancake. You could fit him under a door. Sure, I still played with him for a couple months after that, but it just wasn't the same, which is a very morbid joke.
And then he starts crying.
Yeah. And he's like, what's the point of this story?
He's like,
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
And he's like, well, what should I do? He's like, well, I had to let Lewis go to move on, and you must now do it too. And he's like, how? This isn't just something I can stop or give away. Marilyn rushes up from the lab to tell him that, hey, Grandpa finished the potion. And Eddie is pumped, but Marilyn tells him, hey, don't get too excited. He's pretty cross with you. Or he's crossing you out of his will as I speak.
Yeah. Oh, so Eddie goes downstairs and you notice lately they haven't been necessarily showing people walking down with the door there.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's because of
the concussion.
Yeah. So Eddie goes down there and he's like, where's Grandpa? Grandpa's not. Oh, he goes over to the coffin.
Yeah, he almost leaves, but thinks better of it.
And Grandpa's annoyed because he disturbed him. He's in the middle of dessert. Who's in the coffin?
Yeah, is this lady just a serial? Is he back to being a serial killer like the original Grandpa?
So I have more on this lady too as we continue on.
Okay.
Eddie wants a solution to get rid of the mind reading, and he tells Grandpa, look, I know I dug my own grave. Now I have to lie in it and die. And Grandpa's like, how can you talk about a fun time like that? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Grandpa wants to turn him into a frisky female poodle and lock him with Spot. What does that mean?
No, Eddie thinks that. Eddie says that's what he's thinking. He's like, no, I would never do that to Spot.
But what does that mean? Yeah, Eddie breaks down and starts begging. He's like, come on, please.
Yeah.
So he's like, from now on, or no, the old bat caves, and he's like, I just thought the boy needed some growing up, and hugs him. From now on, don't drink anything in my lab. That beaker that looks like lemon lime soda, that's blood enhancing potion.
It's a surprise for Vera's birthday. Is he making her more potent to feed on?
He's experimenting on this lady.
I think he's making her blood more potent so that it's better for him as he feeds on her.
Yes, she's a guinea pig.
She's in there right now, probably with a bag on her, just
hanging upside down, being drained. Oh,
What was that? What one was that? Was that Blade 2 or Blade 3 where they did that, where they had the blood bags?
I don't remember. Yeah. This is the darkest version of the show has ever gone, honestly.
Yeah. And
So
again,
back,
that's just our minds too, making it up with these.
that's the direction they're leading us into.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's either him being extremely perverted or he's a
Serial
serial
killer.
killer.
Or both, because I mean, a lot of serial
Oh
killers were
god, blood
also
play.
very perverse.
I didn't think about blood play. Back at school, Rob is sucking up
Well, no,
again.
Grandpa says, "Fine, I'll give you the antidote. Here you go. I just wanted to see you grovel a little bit." That's what.
Yeah, that's what he
he
hugs
wanted
him.
to do that, and then he gives him a hug. And then we get back to school, and it seems that Rob got a C, and Eddie's like, "How did you get a C?"
He's like sucking up to the teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, calm down. You got a C minus."
And it looks, as you see everyone's papers sitting around, everyone's like freaking out. They all got C minuses. What happened? What happened? Well, I thought I could I copied off of you because you could read the teacher's mind for the answers. This is not Eddie's fault that you all cheated.
Yeah, Rob clearly isn't that smart if he had to cheat. What a loser. All my
Yeah.
C's were earned, dang it.
And then this is when
No comment.
yeah, no. I don't know what to say. Eddie explains to everybody, I don't have mind reading abilities and stuff. And
Yeah.
Rob goes, Mrs. whatever the teacher's name was. What was it?
But he also apologizes for all the chaos that he
Yeah.
caused using them. Yeah. And then Rob screeches asking, he's Mrs. Thomas.
Yeah. Can we he said something about beating Eddie up or something like that.
Unmercifully punish Eddie.
Yeah. And this is where the teacher finally says it. Sit down and shut up, you little worm.
The applauds.
Oh, yes.
So now we get the final scene, and this is where we get the shot. It's outside of the lab with the light on. Now, we've gotten outside the lab before, but I don't think we've ever gotten one at night.
I don't recall if we've had a night shot.
It's really awesome to see.
Yeah. I know we've had the daytime shot, but I don't remember having the night shot
I
yet.
feel like it's been a while since we got an outside shot of the lab at all.
Yeah. And when he says outside shot of the lab, guys, he's talking like you see the basement windows basically, and they're lit up because this time is nighttime. So yeah.
So Grandpa is reading the paper to Leonard. Morco Industries is opening a chain of drive-through funeral homes. Boy, I'd love to own some stock in that company. What is with the stock references recently?
The stock market was booming in the 90s.
The stock market always booming or going down, whatever. If only he could predict where the people would go for their hamburger and fries with their eulogies. He's no mind reader. He then looks at his lab table. Leonard judges him for his actions. He promises not to abuse it. Maybe we'll see what Madonna and Kathleen Turner find attractive in the old sure men of the world, which didn't he say last week he only dated for Madonna for 6 days?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And Leonard is constantly rejecting this.
Do you think this episode takes place before that one then?
Maybe.
Yeah. This is gonna be great, and he just downs it. And then he does the Professor X as we freeze frame.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I was so confused. Well, that's like, are you doing the X-Men theme? No.
No.
I don't think Wasserman would appreciate us stealing that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's it.
That was the episode.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
There's a lot of stupidity in it because it's like, okay, so Eddie knows your secrets, so let's pamper him until he can't remember or can't read our minds anymore. But it's like, he still knows those secrets. And at school, it's like he still shared all that information, so all that information's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, this is before the time and age of social media, and everyone would post on it. So it's just spread throughout that school and not the whole world. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like the defense of, it's all the truth is not a good one, dude.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes people also can't handle the truth.
No.
I mean,
Also, one of the girls there, the problem she had with him was something that girls did all the time. Why did you tell him I liked him? Like, I've seen that happen without mind reading
yeah,
abilities. That's just petty high school stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I don't know. It was an okay episode. It wasn't anything that was mind blowing. And then after last week's episode of Marilyn, I kind of felt let down with her one liners again. I mean, I'm glad she was actually in this episode, so that was cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Lily was kind of more
Absent?
on the absent side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I even made note of that when there was a Herman, Marilyn, and Grandpa. I'm like, wow, Lily's missing for once.
Yeah. So she was out a
Maybe
lot
it was
more.
her time to take a break from the show.
Yeah, I mean, but she was still there. She was still there enough.
Well, she may have filmed that stuff early on and then went on vacation the rest of it.
Yeah, maybe. And then I'm trying to think of anything extra that I could go on right now. Yeah. His powers, I don't understand the extent of his powers for mind reading. Because like at the end, towards the end there, we hear that he can hear like the president and all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, okay.
Is it like rapidly growing, or is this something he could do the entire time?
Right.
And this
we
would still be
need boundaries. Like that's what a lot of shows forget is like even in sitcoms, you kind of need boundaries for certain things, so we know the extent of them.
I'm trying to remember it was still Bush Senior at the time, right? Clinton hadn't taken office yet.
What was this, 90?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if he was in. I know he was like 92, maybe. No, 93. He came in 93.
Okay.
So yeah, this was still Bush Senior.
Yeah, he's the less fun Bush. So,
God, imagine reading his mind.
I was just thinking of reading his son's.
Which one?
Our president, Bush.
W.
Yeah,
George W. Dude, I don't think anybody would be able to read his mind.
I think he's some of the weirdest speeches I've ever heard.
I think he's so baked his entire presidency, dude.
Probably. Probably more to read there than the last one, though.
Do you think if you read their minds that they talk in their mind the same way that they talk out? Like, do you think Obama would sound like Obama in his mind? Because that would be so annoying. I would be annoyed to be Obama to hear myself talking like that.
Well, is that actually how he talks or just how he gives speeches? Because, sometimes people can talk differently in front of a crowd.
I don't know. I don't know. I just can't. Yeah. I have an issue with a lot of the political people that we've had just as growing up throughout all this stuff. I'm just like, nope, we're good. I can't even. But yeah, as far as the episode goes, it was fun. It was fine. Eddie had his moment. Hopefully we get another, non
There.
Eddie episode because Eddie takes over a lot of episodes for sure. Um,
It's definitely been a heavy Eddie season.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we didn't guess at all for Mind Reader that, I guess we were more used to in the
The
original
swerve.
in the original series, we were more used to Eddie getting some kind of thing happening to him because Grandpa experimented on him on purpose.
Mhm.
Whereas this one, it's like people get things done to them through Grandpa's inventions, but it's not him doing them. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a toss up of what happens. Like, yeah. I want something to happen to Marilyn now. Or Lily. Like,
Lily's lived with him her whole life. She knows better.
she knows not to go down there.
Well, she knows not to just grab anything he makes and down it.
Yeah, that too. All right. Any final thoughts on the episode?
On the episode, yeah, this was it's a middle of the road one. As the kids today would say, mid or average for normal people.
Felt a little sussy.
Yeah, it's all right.
It
I wouldn't
lacked
say
Riz. It
didn't-
lacked all the Riz.
I would say I didn't hate it, but I also didn't find it as good as some of the ones we've seen so far this season.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now, on to other things that aren't the episode. What is that behind you?
What? This?
Yes, the creeper looking thing from Minecraft.
These are my comic boxes, dude.
Oh, okay. I've
So-
been staring at it this whole hour. Like, what is that? I don't want to interrupt the whole show, but what is it?
They're all black except for the top one, which is
Green.
all Ninja Turtle stuff in that one.
Oh, okay.
Which only happened because they didn't have any more black ones at the time when I needed to get another one. So
I have my short box behind me with mine and my wife's
Yeah.
comics in it.
see, these are like the hard plastics and stuff, so I never have to worry about the boxes falling apart or if they get wet.
You need to get into League of Comic Geeks and log that stuff, dude.
I'm not even.
Come on, we compare collections. By the way, I'm on League
So-
of Comic Geeks as Tivis014 if you want to find me.
Send me a link and I'll look into it. All right.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
That was a fun one.
Cool.
Fun to talk about, at least.
So next week we are talking about No More Mr. Nice Guy. The Herman episode.
Herman, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
totally
think he
Herman.
gets angry with his bosses?
I
Or at
think
least
he
a
gets
boss.
everybody? He just gets angry with everybody.
Maybe he drinks one of Grandpa's potions and becomes a punk like they did in that Power Rangers episode.
Maybe it's kind of like he'll become like Joe Fixit of the Frankenstein monsters.
Oh, yeah, Hulk reference. Nice. Jekyll and Hyde him.
Yeah. Oh.
Where Jekyll is just a creepy politician guy. That's a thing that happened in the Munsters, people.
Which wasn't in one of them. What wasn't Jekyll and Hyde or Jekyll Marilyn's dad?
Hyde is, yeah.
Hyde. Yeah, they're same person.
Yeah. Different
Being
personalities.
same being, different personalities. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we both definitely think it's Herman because
100%.
no, Grandpa's not a nice guy.
No, and Eddie's kind of a little
Yeah.
jerk.
Unless they switch it up and it's like it's not nice guy, but more so nice person, and then it's Lily. And she's fed up making all the rat stew and all that crap. Or bat stew. Not
Bat
rat
stew.
So yeah. All right.
Or maybe it's the nice guys they're showing up.
No.
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. I know this one's a bit shorter than last week. Last week we went so long, but we had a lot
Yeah.
of tangents. So this week Myke is tired, and I have circus peanuts to enjoy.
Say it slower, Tivis, because it did not sound what you mean.
I have circus peanuts to enjoy.
Okay, guys.
They're
I
right
am
here.
tired. I'm going to bed. With that said, Tivis, any final words today, dude?
Thank each and every one of our listeners, our viewers, everyone who sticks through every episode we have done, whether you're new, coming back. We enjoy having you.
Definitely, guys. And don't forget to also check out the merch shop. Check out the new shirt. It's a Maryland Munster shirt as well. TheMunsterCast.com/merch. So definitely check that shirt out, guys. It's actually pretty sick. I'm gonna be buying myself one or two different colors. So yeah, definitely check that out, guys. And with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.